when we just have VOR, when we just have the VOR symbol, and sometimes we don't always have the symbol, the VOR symbol will look like this. All right, and you probably can't see my board when I do that, and I'm gonna.
It's up in the top corner, so I see a little. I can just about make it out. That's good. I can catch it.
So when we go to our Omni bearing selector, after we tune in the frequency in our box, which is you'll put in 112.9er.
Niner, okay.
Okay, and then the Omni bearing selector, we turn it until it centers up with a 2 indication.
Okay.
And that tells us the heading to fly to the actual station. So if we set VOR, which is very high frequency Omni range, it won't tell us how far we are from the system, from the VOR. Now, if we have a I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead. I'm just coughing.
Okay. Now, if you have a VOR DME, the VOR DME, if you can see it, you can see it, looks like this with a box around it. All right.
Okay.
So that's telling you, hey, Ron, you can fly in to or from me via one of my radios, and I'll even give you distance. I'll even tell you how far you are away from me.
Okay.
All right. So then we have our VORTAC. And this doesn't apply to you, but it is a VOR, but it also has TACAN associated with it. So the tactical air navigation that the United States military uses is also, they can also use this particular station. So VOR DME,
right,
and VORTAC. All right.
Okay.
Let's come on back to Solberg.
Right.
And
So, what is the right next to it? It has CH-76. Is that channel 76?
yeah, that is for TACAN, for the military.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
all right, hold on. I lost Solberg. I'm all the way in Boston, bro. Way off target. Alrighty, Sparta. Okay. There you go. I got it. All right. We're back on. So tell me what else. What other information?
To the right of SPJ is the Morse code frequency. This is what you would hear.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then what else, sir?
I see an H in the upper right-hand corner.
What does that mean? Go to your legend. That's what I want you to do. Go to your legend.
Okay.
What does it mean, Ron?
Let's see. It says heavy line indicates flight service, but it is not saying what the H stands for. At least I don't see it.
Okay. Keep scrolling, buddy. Keep scanning.
Scrolling. There. H. Okay. HIWAS.
HIWAS. Hazardous in-flight weather advisory service.
Okay.
Is available. All right. I'm trying to pull up my legend too.
Okay.
So I'm looking at what you're looking at because I have the chart and I have more than one monitor, so
okay.
I can
multitask, right?
Yes, sir.
There we go. Right there.
All right. Okay, so you could have a describe weather and route broadcast, and we'll talk about some of these things more. But when you have little brackets hanging on the bottom and you see a name, that is the flight service station.
Okay.
Okay. What else did I want to touch on? All right. So let's come on back. So if I wanted to leave Princeton,
Right.
and fly to Solberg VOR, what is some information I need to keep in mind?
Okay. The
What would I
airspace.
write? Yeah, what would I write on my knee board?
The location of Salzburg, all the information as far as runway heading.
Well, no, I'm just talking about for navigation to this said VOR that we're talking about.
Okay. I would need alternate airports in case of an emergency. Then
Okay. No,
to make-
Ron, you're going a little bit too much. All right.
Okay.
If I just want to navigate to Solberg, that's all I'm doing. I'm not going to the airport. I just want to fly directly to Solberg from Princeton Airport. What do I need to do? What am I going to write on my knee board if I'm going to go? Our definite mission today is to fly to Solberg. That's what we're doing.
The heading for one thing.
That's good. That want to have a trade, and you would get a heading to that particular airport.
Right, and then to make sure I don't get into the airspace.
That's very good. And you know what? Since we're talking about airspace, I want to know. You see this ring right here?
Where are you at? I don't see you on your.
Where my cursor is moving.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. It's right now. It's you're on Millville.
All right. You see the blue line there, the Class Bravo?
To the right, I do.
Yes. Okay. So, what I want you to do is that ring where you see Solberg's radial 090 radial. Can you see that?
Your cursor's not moving, so I.
Oh, okay. Here we go. It's circling the 9.
I don't see it. It's like your screen is not moving. It's.
Okay. Can you see the chart?
Yeah, I have the chart in front of me. Okay.
I want you to go to the 090 radial on the compass rose of Solberg.
Okay, it's too. It's not. I'm not able to see it on the screen like a full. It's like too big.
Okay, just look at your chart. Look at your chart.
Oh, okay. Hang on. Okay, I'm looking at my my paper chart, not the one on the screen.
Okay, I know that's what I want you to do. All right, so you go to the compass rose.
Right, got it.
And you will look for the 09. I want you to identify the 090 radial.
Okay, it's just pretty much on the outskirts of the
Class Bravo.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about. I want to know the I want to know the lower limits of that. I want to know the lower limits of that Class Bravo because it doesn't go all the way down to the surface, correct?
Looks like Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm finding it the way you're saying it.
Okay. I want to know at what altitude can we fly under the class Bravo? And not have to talk to anybody.
Okay.
'em. Oh, right there, right in my eye.
Seven, 700 feet.
You see that? Okay.
I'm looking at the Newark section of it has 70 SFC.
Okay. All right. I am going to attempt. All right. Let's see here. All right.
Can you hang on for 1 second?
I sure can.
Got a customer just walked in. 1 second.
That's fine.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay. All right.
All right.
I want you to. All right. So this is probably one of the first things we're going to do as far as air work.
Okay.
All right. So in your sectional, I want you to identify Solberg Airport. I mean Solberg VOR. Sorry. Now, let's come back to what we were doing. All right, what we were trying to do is identify the limits. All right, and let's see here. I've taken this out. Let me see if I can. All right, I want you to hang up. I'm going to hang up on you and call you right back. So all I want you to do is pick up.
Okay.
All right, I'm hanging up. Calling in 3 seconds.
Okay.
Let's run down here and. Okay, Ryan, you will not be able to see video, but I'm going to share screens with you.
Okay.
All right. All right. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. So this is what I wanted you to do. Identify Solberg Airport and then go to the 090 radial.
Right.
Okay. And I wanted you to identify this class Bravo,
Right.
the limits. And if we scan around and we just zoom out a little bit, we will see that this outer ring has 70 over 30. All around here, 70 over 30. Now here it's 70 over 15.
Okay.
All right. What does this 70 over 30 mean? And if you don't know, just say I don't. If you don't know, just say I don't know.
Yeah, I think it is. It's the 700 to 3,000. 700 minimum, 3,000.
Okay. Actually, just think of look at it. 70 is the top, so that means that the class Bravo goes to 7,000 feet.
Okay.
And
below
30 is the lower limit. We just add 2 zeros. So
Okay.
7,000 and 3,000. So we could actually fly at 2,500 feet and not have to worry about anything.
Okay. Now
All
I
right.
got it. Okay.
And we would not have to worry about penetrating that class Bravo. Now, I'm going to zoom in. And what is this little magenta thing here? It's a ring. And it goes all the way around all this airspace. See this ring?
Where are you at? Okay. Yeah. Okay. I see that.
What is that magenta ring? It goes all over. It goes all the way around. This.
Okay. If I'm correct, it would be if I'm going, that would be the location where I have to call into them to get permission to enter their airspace.
All right. If you look closer, if you follow the ring around, you will see 30NM mode C.
Yep, I see that. Okay.
Okay, so
3,000 nautical miles, mode C.
no, that's not 3,000 nautical miles. That's 30 nautical miles.
Okay.
This means that our transponder has to have altitude and coding function.
Okay.
You know when you change your transponder to standby to ALT,
Yes, correct.
that is the altitude and coding function, so that when the controllers scan for you, they can see what altitude you're at to keep other airplanes away from you.
Okay.
Because what's our transponder code going to be if we're just flying regular VFR?
That would be 1,200.
1,200, very good. All right. So, Solberg was here.
Okay, I see it.
What does this thing around? What does this little thing here with the name in it mean?
I just had that. Flight service provided voice communication.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? That is the controlling flight service station,
Right.
in that area. So Millville Flight Service Station is the, I guess you would call them the controlling agency. If you needed services. Okay, now, what this means is, do you see the 122.1R?
Yes.
That means that Millville Flight Service Station receives on that frequency.
Okay.
All right. So you would listen on 112.9 by turning the volume function up on your. You know how you identify your VOR? It'll go bop 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 bop
Right.
bop bop bop. That's the Morse code.
Okay.
So you would actually hear a voice, but you would transmit on 122.1 because that's what Millville receives at. because the line of sight may be off. We're far away from Millville. Millville's damn near all the way down at the tip of New Jersey. So if you're at 2,000 feet, they probably won't pick you up by regular line of sight radio communications. So you're flying over that area, over Solberg. You have a direct line of sight with Solberg VOR and what am I trying to say? And you listen to them. So they have a radio antenna on that VOR, and that's basically what it's saying. They have a communications antenna. They can receive on 122.1, and they're going to broadcast, which means you're going to listen on 112.9. Now, your conversation will be over the Morse code, though. So it's kind of funny while you're listening to them, you're going to hear the bop 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 bop, right? But it's only going to broadcast every 30 seconds, the Morse code. So you will be able to get a conversation in. All right. How we pronounce or how we engage the flight service station, I would say Millville Radio, November 31 Sierra Delta. Now, I would be broadcasting on 122.1 and listening to the Morse code because the flight service station's broadcast to me is going to be on the VOR. All right. And Millville Radio, that is the proper phraseology to use with a flight service station when you're engaging them. So you would say Millville Radio, November 31 Sierra Delta. And then over the frequency, they'd say Millville Radio. Let's say November 31 Sierra Delta. Millville Radio, go ahead. And I would just say Millville Radio, 31 Sierra Delta is 5 miles north of Solberg VOR. Our destination is, I don't know, Williamsport Airport.
Right.
I like to know their current weather. And I'll tell you, hey, 31 Sierra Delta, this is Millville Radio. Williamsport Airport's weather, they're showing 350 at 5 knots. Skies are clear below 20,000 or something. They'll just be like, hey, so these are wonderful functions that you can use. A lot of people don't like communications because they think people are listening to them, but nobody really cares. We may chuckle a little bit to hear you stumble, but nobody's like, because we've all been there in radio communications. I remember when I was nervous, but you learn by doing. You learn by doing. And, so it's really not that bad, once you get it. So if you ever need information from, you want to call ahead to a different airport to find out what's going on there. If there's any NOTAMs at the airport, maybe you're on the way to Allentown Airport. Millville Radio, November 31 Sierra Delta. November 31 Sierra Delta. Good morning. This is Millville Radio. How can I help you? Okay. So Millville Radio, who you are. November 31 Sierra Delta, who I am, where you are, and what your intentions are. Who you're talking to, who you are. It's like you're introducing yourself to a woman. Hello, how you doing, ma'am? My name is Keno. And then you just go ahead, but you tell the flight service station where you are and what your intentions are. So it's really, when you get that mindset of the communications, that's what kind of helps you out a little bit. If I'm calling to get into the Class Bravo at Newark, I would call Newark Tower. I could call Newark Tower. I know it because we operate with them in 118.3. And let's say I'm over Solberg. So I will say Newark Tower, November 31 Sierra Delta, and just pause. I'm trying to get her attention. Hi, how you doing? This is Keno. I'm Keno. And she turns around. She goes, hi, how you doing? Now, her hi, how you doing is November 31 Sierra Delta. This is Newark Approach. Squawk 1211. And your transponder code. So we squawk 1211. 1211 in our transponder. So that is her saying, "Hey, okay, I don't see you, Ron. Where are you?" All right, and in your transponder code, you are broadcasting to Nork Approach. Hey, this is me, because I'm not 1200 anymore. If I was 1200, that's the regular VFR code. Okay,
Right, okay.
Everybody VFR should be on 1200. But when you're engaging the approach controller for purposes of transiting the airspace, then it's really not that bad. Okay, so all right, all right, Nork Approach November 310 Delta. They come back November 310 Delta Nork Approach. Remember who you're talking to, who you are, where you are, what you want. Okay, so Nork Approach, November 310 Delta is 5 miles north of Solberg. Eastbound, you can say eastbound to Republic Airport.
Mm-hmm.
All right, if you're going to Republic, you're saying you're telling them, hey, I'm in Solberg, I want to go to Republic. They'll say November 310 Delta Nork Approach, radar contact. That means, hey, I see you, radar contact.
Right. Okay.
All right, but you got to be careful because you are not cleared into the class Bravo until they say November 310 Delta radar contact, altimeter 29902. You're cleared into the class Bravo. You do not penetrate till you hear those words. If you don't hear those words, then you query them.
Right.
Nork Approach 310 Delta. Are we cleared into the class Bravo, sir? Do we have permission to enter the class Bravo? Because once they say yes, then they're on record at that point.
Okay.
All right. So nobody can bother you and be like, hey, Ron, you screwed up. Because remember how you used to fly when you used to tell me you used to navigate around the class Bravos?
Yes.
Burning all that extra fuel, man. I cut right through them. They're not that bad. They're really not that bad. And at that point, after that point, all they're going to give you are radar updates. They're going to say, hey, Ron, or 310 Delta, you have traffic. 1 o'clock, 5,000 feet. You start scanning. 310 Delta, no contact. Meaning I don't see them yet. And then they'll just keep a tighter eye on you.
Okay.
All right. So honestly, the air traffic controller's going to yell at me for this. I can't believe you told them that. I'm like, hey, I don't see him. I don't see him. Now, if the controller believes you don't see that aircraft, they're going to watch you a little bit. Okay. Right. Last thing they want is like a near miss.
Mm-hmm.
And then, until you get more comfortable.
Right.
Nork Approach, 310 Delta, we don't have the traffic. Don't see him. Now, if you see him, then say you see him. Don't. I'm just saying, when you tell a controller, air traffic controller, hey, I don't have the traffic. Look, okay, watch these two cats. Watch these two cats, because we don't want them getting too close. He don't see him, and that guy don't see the other guy. You know what I'm saying? So let's just keep giving them traffic updates. And then after that, when you guys pass each other, you're not a factor. The air traffic control will be like 310 Delta, that traffic's no longer a factor, or 310 Delta, that Boeing 737 is on your 8 o'clock position now. He shouldn't be a factor.
Right. Okay.
A lot of times they'll ask you to say your intentions. I'll be like, okay, I'd like to transit to Class Bravo airspace and land at Republic Airport. You just tell them what you want. It's really not any magical phrases to use.
Right, okay.
It's like, 310 Delta, say your intentions. Yeah, we would like to do practice approaches at JFK. I mean, no, nobody's going to do practice approaches at JFK. They got like 30 aircraft stacked, and a Cessna 172 is going to be doing practice approaches with 30 aircraft stacked behind it. That's not happening. All right. What else did I want to say? Okay, so, all right, we're just going to do a little quick tutorial
Okay.
We're going to go from Solberg to no, Princeton to Solberg. So we have to at least fly northbound, right, to get to Solberg, correct?
Correct.
We got to fly
Right.
northbound.
Mm-hmm.
That is evident. So if you look at the compass rose, can you see the compass rose?
Yes. Yeah.
This long arrow represents the north radial, or 0 or 35360 radial. All right.
Okay.
And
I don't see the arrow you're talking about. I don't see that.
Okay. So can you see Solberg Airport?
Yeah, it's right in the center.
Right. And you don't have a VOR. Why don't you have a VOR symbol?
I don't see one on the screen here.
I know you don't. And
okay.
The reason why is because you don't see a VOR symbol because it is on the field. So you'll just get that little white dot.
Okay. Okay.
All right. When the VOR is on the field, you'll get that white dot. If you go up a little bit northbound to Broadway VOR, then you have a VOR symbol because it's not on the airfield.
Now, the white dot you're talking about?
Yeah, at Solberg Hunterdon Airport, November 51.
Okay, I see it. I see it on the on the symbol.
Okay, all right. So when you see that little white dot, it's saying, "Hey, Ron, I'm on the field." All right. If you go northbound to Broadway, VOR at 114.2, then what we're gonna get is maybe I should do it. All right, Ron, give me a moment, sir. Okay, so what I want you to write down is we're gonna. And here's another thing, Ron. Check this out. If you ever got kind of sort of lost, which you never will get lost.
Say that again.
I'm being silly. I was like, if you ever got lost, then you never will, because you know me.
Okay.
Our pilots don't get lost ever. Okay. See Solberg?
Yes.
And do you see the Victor Airway?
I see on the screen. Yes. Okay.
Victor
250.
No, Victor 249. I see you see the 250, but this is this is a Victor Airway.
Okay, I see
Victor Airway 249. Guess what that does? It flies you right over Princeton Airport.
Okay.
So all you would have to do is maintain center up the 171 radial on your Omni bearing selector, and it'll take you right to Princeton.
Okay.
Now you would have a from indication if you're pointed in the right direction. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So, a little quick tutorial. We're going to go to Solberg. I want you to write down 112.9, and I want you to write down the Morse code.
All right, 1 second.
I know, man. I always got you writing something, right?
That's all right. That's all right. That's good. All right, so...
like, damn it, Kino. Go ahead.
What am I writing?
112.9. And this is what I would do.
Okay.
This is what I would do. I would write down 112.9, and I would write down the Morse code.
Okay, so that would be dot, dash, dot, dash. Okay, got it.
All right. And then, let's see here. And then you got the last one, the dot and 3 dashes?
3 dashes, correct.
All right. So that is your Morse code. All right. Now, Broadway VOR, 114.2.
Okay, what was that? VOR for what?
Broadway VOR. It's right on the screen there.
Right, I got it. 114.2. I see that.
Mm-hmm. And write down the Morse code for that. Because when we identify these VORs, we need to hear that Morse code. All right. I'll let you get that down, and then I'll have another question for you.
Okay, I got it.
Okay. Let's say we're in the air. We're in the air, and we tune into 114.2, and we don't hear the certain dot dash pattern that we're looking for, that we're expecting.
Okay.
What does that mean to you?
I would say out of range. After double checking to make sure I'm on the right frequency, then I would say I'm out of range.
Okay, but you hear Morse code, so you can't be out of range, can you?
Well, I would make sure that it's the same code coming through.
Okay, which is 114.2. But okay,
Right.
you tuned in 114.2. You know that that's the frequency. You're looking right at it on the navigation radio, 114.2. You swapped it. It's on the active side. And then, it's like, damn it. I'm not hearing my dash, dot, 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 dash, 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 dot, dot. I'm hearing another Morse code pattern.
Okay.
Is that VOR usable at that point?
I'm going to say, without knowing 100% the answer, I'm going to say no.
It is not usable, and it's probably under test.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably, and then so you look at your kneeboard and you confirm the Morse code pattern that you're hearing, and test the test. It's under test, which means it's being tested. Some technician is working on it, and it's not usable at that point. And you might get it. You may even get some erroneous readings from it on the Omni bearing selector. Okay, so we are going from Princeton to Solberg, Solberg VOR, and then Broadway. Okay, and you're going to tell me what to do in the simulator. So you're going to be the flight instructor right now. Ready?
Okay.
Okay, can you see the
panel?
Panel.
Yep.
Okay. All right, now let's look around. We're on runway 28 right now.
Right.
Now, I'm going to go to the frequency box.
Okay.
All right.
Got it.
We're there. Okay, so what we have here is we have COM1, we have NAV1, we have COM2, we have NAV2. So what do I need to put in NAV1 if we're going to Solberg?
First, leaving Princeton, we will put in their information on NAV1.
Okay, so what information? You wrote it down. We did our pre-flight planning.
Yeah, I know.
For the simulator.
All right, so for Princeton, we're going to put in 122.725.
Okay, well, that's the COM frequency, and I'll do that here. But I'm concerned with the navigation, though. But, okay, I'll do that, though, just for,
Okay.
So we don't want 7.5, we want 7.2. And then we'll hit the standby frequency, bang, and then it's over on the active side, right?
Right. Okay.
All right, now for navigation purposes, because we're flying to Solberg and then Broadway.
So now we're putting in for Solberg 112.9.
Okay, do you see it there?
Yep, I got it.
Now it's on the inactive side. What do I need to do?
Okay, now put it into click on that standby.
Boom, and now it's on the active side, and you just saw the
Yeah,
you just saw the needle move.
Right.
Okay, now it's pretty much northbound. So what do I need to do to get this to center?
Okay, so now you're going to turn that OBS knob, and when it hits in the center line, it would be right about now.
Okay, so this would be the magnetic heading that I would be taking towards.
Right.
And lo and behold, look at this, the DME.
Okay.
Because Solberg is a VOR DME. So it's going to give us distance measuring information. It's going to give us distance information. Right. Now, is it going to give us actual distance or slant distance?
I would say slant distance.
What we really need to do is, and I'll set the heading bug on the.
When you do that setting on the DBS. The red and white lines showing through it, and it's centered. What's the difference setting that to and from?
Okay, that's a good question. That's a good question. Let's go to our celebrity guest. This is a to indication.
Right.
All right, I'm going to rotate it till we get a from indication.
Okay.
That is a from indication, which means the VOR is behind you.
Okay.
So when we keep rotating it, we get the swing, goes into the zone of ambiguity. Somebody's calling me from Arizona.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, now I see I see the difference.
So what you have here at the top is 350. That is the heading you're going to need to fly.
Okay.
And I put it there in the All right. So we're out of here. And we're rolling. Airspeed alive, instrument cross check. Rotation. And we are airborne. Now, for our purposes, now remember your 900 feet.
900 feet, correct.
So I am going to comply with the chart supplement. It's what we do. And then, let's see, 500 now.
Yep, I got it.
Okay. And I'm tweaking the Omni bearing selector. I'm just tweaking it. I'm just turning it a little bit just to keep the needle centered.
Mm-hmm.
100 feet to go. Okay, we're at all right, so
900, right?
All right, so now we're going to turn towards Solberg. Now it's almost north. It virtually is north. So if we turn north, that is going to get us to the VOR. We have a 2 indication, and my secondary, my backup information is we were at 11.7 to the VOR. Where are we now? How far are we now from the VOR?
10 point, looks like 10.8, 10.9,
okay.
10.
Nav 1, there we go. Let me know if you can hear the Morse code.
Okay. Yes, I do.
Okay. At this point, you're going to look at the Morse code information that you wrote down in your pre-flight planning.
Right. I got it.
And listen. Just listen for it. Do we have a good VOR yet?
I only heard part of it. I heard the first three dots.
Okay. It'll come back around.
Okay. Okay, it's honestly hard to hear it, but it sounded correct.
Okay, it's correct. Trust me.
Okay.
All right. You would turn the volume up in your headphones if you had you could turn the volume up, or you could turn the volume up on your Nav 1 radio. So basically, at this point, we have a good VOR. All right. We have our needle pretty much centered. We're not going to chase it. Okay, we're pitching over, our nose over. Let's see what we got here. I can actually see Solberg Airport. All right. Our VOR is kind of floating a little bit, and we're just making adjustments.
Okay.
Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and give it away. Solberg Airport is pretty much right out here, and this is, we will be looking for it. We'll
right
be
there,
looking
right
for
there.
it.
Okay.
That's Solberg Airport out there.
Okay.
So we've visually seen where we are. We know we're on the radial, and what I will do as a backup is put in our Broadway VOR frequency. So what was Broadway VOR's frequency? 114?
114.2.
114.2. So I'll go over here, 114.2, and just keep that on standby. Just keep it on standby. This is what we call housekeeping. So when I want to switch frequencies, all I got to do is bang, hit the button, and an omni-bearing selector or the VOR OBS just goes, okay, boom. It's like a dog. It's like sick 'em, boy, and it goes after the next VOR. And this is probably 206 we're looking at as we fly up.
Yep, that is.
Now, as I see this airport, it becomes more clearer right on top of the dash. That's Solberg Airport. Okay. So I'm going to just visually point my nose to it. All right. I'm going to point the nose of the aircraft to it. So we know that we're going there. All right. And what you could do is you can wait for station passage if you like, which we'll do that because we should. So you see your heading, you're like about 010 degrees on your heading. We're pointed north. You can make out the runway now. Now, if we're flying directly to the VOR that's on the field, the airport's going to disappear under our nose. So you have to plan for that to happen. Or you can fly slightly to the right or the left of it, so you could like look out of the side of your window by your spar and see it.
Right. Okay.
Pretty nice highway there.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, this is why technology is so beautiful, Ron, because we could do nav lessons and not even leave the ground.
Right.
Okay, now I'm gonna flip Broadway VOR. And we are 14 miles away from Broadway VOR.
Okay.
All right. And I'm going to center up the needle. And then I'm going to point my heading to north to match it. So whatever you have here, if the needle's centered, you want to match with your heading indicator. And 13.9 miles away. And let's identify that one.
Okay.
Now look, check this out, Ron. Here's the annunciator panel.
Right.
All right. I just pressed nav 1 to bring it into my ear to listen to the Morse code.
Right.
When I'm done listening, I'll press this button again. The light will go out and it will be off the channel.
Okay. Okay, I got that one.
Okay, was it? Okay, so do we have a good VOR?
Yes.
We do have a good VOR. Very
Okay.
good. Very good. Now, let's say we just got lost for some reason.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm going to take out this off the annunciator panel. Okay. All right, so basically, let's just say we, I don't know, we got disoriented. All right. And we need to get back to our home base, which is Princeton Airport in this case. All right. I looked around, I looked at my chart. I don't know what's going on. I don't know where I am, Ron. Help, right? No, I will always know where we are. Don't you worry about that. Okay, so, but you're by yourself, and I'm not with you. And you know that Solberg is 112.9. So we will flip that in there. Right. Now we want to fly to Solberg because it's 160. Click over be 171. So I'm going to just adjust this till it's 170. The reason why, because that is Victor 249, and that is what's going to fly us directly over the field to get us back. Right?
Right.
All right. And so all right, we're 180 degrees southbound. All right. And the needle some funky stuff, but don't worry about it. After we get repositioned, then we are going to so basically I just want to pause for a second. When you look at your chart,
right?
All right, here is where I had that information. This is Victor 249. It's off radio 171 off the Solberg VOR, and it's going to fly us directly over Princeton Airport. See how it cuts the airport in half?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so you shouldn't get lost.
Okay.
If you know Solberg, and your and the instructor might do this, he'd be like, well, how would you find your way home? Okay, Solberg VOR, 171. Now, we're north of the VOR, so we have a to indication. But when we get on the other side, you should have a from indication. Because we're pointed south.
If you, let's just say I was, instead of flying to Solberg, we flew to Doylestown.
Okay.
And say that same question came up, and the instructor says to me, do you know where you are? Or do you know how to get back to Princeton? And if we were, let's say, heading towards Solberg, but then diverted to Doylestown. So again, I'm lost.
So you want to divert, so you want to divert to Doylestown. That's not a problem.
Well, even let's just say we ended up towards Doylestown, and I'm lost. I'm not sure about where I'm in, but I have an idea that I'm in that vicinity, and I want to head back to Princeton. So based on what we just went through with the Victors of 249 and a heading of 171.
Okay,
would that still be the same?
Now, Victor 3 and 419 take you to Doylestown. If you look at your VOR.
Well, yeah, no. Let's just say I'm in that vicinity already, somewhere between Doylestown and Solberg.
Okay, if you're extremely lost, I would come to a heading of 090, and I would stay at 3,000 feet. I should see Trenton Mercer Airport to the right off. And then Princeton should be coming up. Let's see. I'm trying to just pull up any other navigation information. Or you can fly to Yardley VOR and fly to 05057 radio. All right. See Yardley VOR down here?
I see it. Yep.
Okay. Here's the VOR, and here's the Victor Airway flying off, and it goes right past Princeton Airport right here.
Okay. The screen is hesitating, so I'm actually looking at the paper map.
Okay.
The screen is like it's what do you call it?
Freezing.
Yeah, freezing. I couldn't think of the word. Right. Yeah. Okay, I got it. Now I see it.
Okay, so Yardley VOR.
Hardly 108 point.
Yeah, 108.2.
All right.
And then I would fly off the 057 radio, and that will bring you right past Princeton.
Okay.
All
So,
right.
so what? If I was, let's go back to where we were flying to Salzburg, and we did some maneuvers back and forth, and we ended up towards Doylestown.
Mhm.
So putting in the Salzburg information.
No, I would use if you're at Doylestown, then I would use Yardley VOR.
Okay.
I use
So then I would change the Omni Omni setting. I would put in 108.2.
Well, that's the
Get
radio.
back.
That's the radio frequency setting.
Right. Okay.
All right. So let's go to Doylestown.
Okay.
Well, let me see the airport identifier for Doylestown. Delta Yankee Lima.
Right there at two. One 122.975 is the frequency, and
Okay, we're gonna do this in something a little bit. Okay, now I've changed the aircraft up. We have a HSI, but the radio stack should be the same.
okay.
All right, so we're at Doylestown Airport right now. All right, and what I said we're going to do is we're going to fly. If we're flying over, just pretend we're over Doylestown. I would
Okay.
fly directly to Yardley. Now you could fly 090, but winds could be a factor. But where you are, you're really not that good at navigation, or I won't say you're not that good, but you haven't done it in a while. I don't want you to think like I'm looking down on you. I'm just saying you just haven't actively engaged in it in a while. And so me, I would shoot 090, and all right. But what we're gonna do to make sure that you know where you are at all times, we're gonna fly directly to Yardley, and then we're gonna leave on a 057 radio. And I think we don't have any. There is DME there, but we'll see Princeton. Okay, so let's come back to the simulator. Okay, so I'm going to put in 108.2, which is Yardley VOR. I know that I was a flight instructor here, so I know that frequency like the back of my, you know what.
Okay.
All right. So nav 108.2, swap it, and the horizontal situation indicator is a little bit different. Should be a high yoke function on this damn thing. All right, that's recording. All right. Okay, so what would you guess a heading is from Doylestown to Yardley? I would say I would take a line here, a straight edge on the chart, and make it parallel this, and it's about 100. So that's the heading we're going to turn to, 100.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to go to another view. That sucks because it's blocking every damn thing. 100. And we said 3,000. And I'm gonna go back to all right. So, all right, we're gonna take off, and then we're gonna come to a heading of 100 degrees, and hopefully that should get us to Yardley. We'll make adjustments as necessary. All right. Okay. So release the parking brakes. 10 degrees of flaps, and we're in a caravan right now. So.
Okay. Now, being that we're going that way, would we have to contact? I know it's not mandatory, but Mercer, if we're going to cross into their vicinity?
Not at 3,000, because we said 3,000 is going to be our target altitude. And
where you broke up, say it again. You broke up.
If you look at the sectional.
Okay, I'm doing that now.
The top of the class Delta is 2,700 feet. Can you see that?
No, I don't. I see Trenton Mercer.
Okay, can you see my screen? Look at my screen.
Okay, right now I have the simulator on the screen.
You shouldn't.
Yeah, it's showing the. It's out. Okay. The chart is in the back.
Okay, if you look at the class Delta airspace, which is designated by the blue broken lines, you should see a box with a number in it, a 2-digit number.
Oh, yes, I do. Okay, it's 27.
Yes, there you go. That is the top of the class Delta airspace.
Okay.
So if we're flying at 3,000, do we need to talk to them?
No.
Okay, but as a courtesy, I would. I really would.
Okay.
You know.
That's what I was really getting at. I didn't know until you mentioned it. I didn't know the answer to that, but that was my real question, is that being that we are flying towards them, it's a good idea to contact them and just let them know that you're passing through that area at a certain hour.
Yeah, just so other pilots know.
Okay.
All right. So, what am I trying to say? All right. So I would still, before I got over Yardley, Trenton Tower, November 31 Sierra Delta. November 31 Sierra Delta. This is Trenton Tower. Go ahead. Yeah, Trenton Tower, 31 Sierra Delta. We're about 10 miles north of you. We're gonna be flying direct Yardley, then Princeton at 3,000. And they'll just be like, okay, 31 Sierra Delta, we'll keep our eye out for you. So you're letting the controller know that you're gonna be hanging over his head. It's just a nice courtesy. Is it required? No, you don't have to do it. Really, you don't have to talk to them at all if you don't want to. But I would do it as just like a common courtesy.
Okay.
Okay, so Doylestown. And okay, do you have the sim now?
Yep. No, I have the chart right now.
Okay.
Okay, now I got the sim.
Okay, so we're rolling. Look around, look around.
I haven't seen that airport in a long time.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Can I hold up a minute while you're flying?
Sure.
Okay. Hang on. Go ahead, bro. Yeah, hi. How you doing? Oh, okay. Right? Oh, okay. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. Is the manifold off the engine? Okay, yeah. If you take the if you bring me just the manifold, then I could I can just as long as you haven't tried to drill it already. Did you mess up the hole? Did you break a bit in there or anything? Oh, okay. 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 All right. Okay. If it's just to drill it out, $20. All right. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
Excuse me. I got a customer that if this guy shows up, I'll have to cut her short.
Okay.
But,
well, look.
let's
just. We got quite a bit in today.
Okay.
So let's just call it right there. So this way you can take care of your customer when he comes in. I've got laundry to do anyway.
All right. But well, where we're at right now, we left Doylestown, right? And heading towards Yardley.
All right. Hold on. I'm gonna call you right back. All right.
All right.
You can see.
Okay.
All right. Can you see me, Ron?
Yep. I got your chart. Your not your chart. Your blackboard or whiteboard or whatever. There we go.
See me?
Yep. I got you.
Hey. All right. So all in all, I mean, dude, if we do this once a week, you will be
really helpful.
Yeah, you'll be razor sharp.
Okay.
And this is like part of what I do for like the pilots.
Okay. Yeah, I was telling you the other day, just the fact that I'm switching instructors, it's a little bit uncomfortable.
It is, Ron. But as long as this is not a repeated thing.
Okay.
You know, if you know, you kind of got to watch FBOs like a little bit.
Right.
Now, this guy, he legitimately went out of the country. You can't, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes guys, they get hired by airlines or whatever, and then they're like, you know, because I mean, after you get a couple thousand hours, you really get sick of training people. I think you do. I think I was burned out when I first started flying corporate. I think I was burnt out.
Okay.
With students, because I hated primary students.
Right.
I hated primary students, dude. Like, it's because you know why? It was just you leave the airport, you go to the practice area. That was it, and the maneuvers that you've done for a couple thousand hours. So it's just like, shit, I don't want to do this. Now, if it was a check ride, yeah, you got to take them, put them through the paces. So really, I only like doing the advanced work. Yeah,
the guy that I flew with that went out of town, he told me he enjoyed flying with me. He says, no disrespect to the students that I have. He says, but it's so much nicer flying with somebody who's flown already.
Yeah.
It's like a change of pace, you know? It's different.
Because you got to watch everything. Like when I tell people, as a flight instructor, you're not just a pilot. You're a psychologist. You're almost like a babysitter. You have to watch everything they do. You have to see their mistakes before they make them.
Okay.
You know, like I remember when we used to fly, I would watch you when you would start coming off altitude. I knew when your scan was going to come off. I knew when your altitude was going to start slipping because I see that you omitted something in your scan. So it's like, as that flight instructor, I could see 20 miles ahead of the plane. and that's another thing. You got to see miles ahead of the plane as well as look at that. So you're under a lot of mental load. You are. You got to fly the plane. You got to be the pilot. You got to be the teacher. You got to think ahead of the plane, and then you have are doing out there. Like, hold on, oh, we got an aircraft 3 o'clock. I got an aircraft here at 10 o'clock. I got 2 in the pattern. You know, you have to be. So it is a. It doesn't pay enough. I'm sorry, it doesn't pay enough. The primary does not pay enough. You know, but no, I like the experience. But then what happens as you kind of grow as an instructor? Then what happens is you rotate back a little bit. You kind of like doing the primary stuff with people. So it's a cycle, you know, but my specialty is IFR. I love teaching IFR, and I love teaching in actual IFR. Like, forget the hoods. I would love for you to just put you in the clouds. Okay. Because that's really actual time, you know, actual IFR time, and that's the best experience you can get, popping in and out of clouds. And being distracted by that and still having to maintain your scan on the instrument panel. There's nothing better than that. Like, I had a student, man, he would always come like, man, I saw the clouds were coming down. And so he's like, I just checked to see. I was like, man, you know I'm ready. Let's go. Follow your flight plan. Okay. So, yeah, if we link up like this once a week, Ron, you'll be good to go. Okay. And then that's really all I have. So, I mean, go ahead, prep for your customer. Okay. And just keep me abreast of what's going on. All right. Yep. Very good. So, if there's any sudden changes or whatever, again, you know, I would just say, you know, we'll talk about it, because I don't want to. Let's just see what happens. So what, next Tuesday? Tuesday morning, yeah, 8 o'clock. It's actually a 2-hour flight. Okay. So yeah, hopefully they'll get everything squared away that day. If not, we'll debrief and we'll press on. All right, very good. All right, Ron. Okay, all right, sounds good. Good to see you. What'd you think about the simulation? Oh, it's great. It was really great. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the only I wouldn't even say it's negative, but the only thing that happens is the screen freezes up, so it's like you're a little bit ahead of the. But that's a minor thing. But as far as the purpose of it, it's fantastic. Mm-hmm. It's so much nicer to be able to see it rather than try to visualize it. Yeah, and that's why. Yeah, good. That's why I use it. But yeah, I got like so many airplanes. Right. And the thing is you actually have to fire them up in the proper sequence, as you would. Like I did in the one video, you got to go through the proper sequence. Otherwise, so you could literally have your checklist that you use in your aircraft. Okay. And go through your checklist and do your thing and fire it up and go. And the navigation works the same. The same real world navigation frequencies that you have, like for Solberg, for Broadway VOR, is the same thing in the system. Okay. So there's no change. It's like, oh no, we do something different. No, it's the same thing. If you want to shoot approaches, you can shoot approaches. If I want to adjust the weather, I could adjust the weather. Okay. So what I feel for Tuesday, because I've only been in this plane one time, and quite honestly, the starting procedure of the engine. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know how to start a plane up, but this particular plane, he went through a couple of different procedures that I don't feel honestly, when I get in that plane on Tuesday morning, I don't feel comfortable right now that I'm going to do it correct. Just read the checklist. Just read the checklist. You know what it is? Because he had a couple of different switches that, I mean, I know how to start a fuel injection engine, but he had told me on this particular plane, you've got to push in on the
the throttle. Then there's a switch up on the top that you got to flip on just to make sure the pump is working properly. So that's just the only thing I'm not comfortable with, because I haven't flown it before, and it's just going to be like the second time that I'm in the cockpit. You know, I haven't had experience at it, so I don't know if he's going to hold that against me or not. But
no, they shouldn't. It's your airwork really that matters. That procedure, you know. And I actually went through that on that video I showed you.
Okay.
So make sure you review that video.
Okay.
That I did, the recurrency video.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's repetition, man.
Okay.
That's
I know. Just like watching this video now, where watching the screen now, seeing it and doing it is much better, because the more you keep doing it, the better you get at it.
Or next week, or if I get some time, I don't think I will before Tuesday, because I was going to say we could have did the engine start.
Okay.
We could have did the engine start. But
okay.
Yeah. Other than that, I guess I'm humble. I'm humble, man.
I always say you're A1 with me, A+, A1, A+. You know,
yeah.
That's how I feel with you.
Man, I just want you to be safe. That's all, bro. And competent.
All right.
All right, Ron. All right, bye-bye.
All right, I'll keep you posted. Thanks.
All right. Yeah, so that was just Ron. We did like a recurrency video and stuff like that. And then I have the ability to share like a simulator with him and go through certain procedures and stuff like that and everything. So basically, I just some things that his flight instructor will probably ask him during a check ride that he's doing next Tuesday. And that's really about it. So, I mean, I don't care if you're like, say, light aircraft, general aviation, corporate aircraft, whatever airplane you are, you need to get checked out in. Or maybe you are, I don't know, you got an interview for, I don't know, LabCorp or something like that, flying like a Piper at Navajo or something like that. I have everything, dude. And we can go through the startup procedures and all that, just to give you some familiarization before you go to your interview. And just to give you an idea of what's going on, as far as manuals and stuff like that and everything, the actual checklist that you're going to go through for the potential aircraft that you will be potentially flying. So, I guess I'll see you guys tonight. I have my live stream tonight. And, hopefully I'll see you guys there if you're preparing for any Federal Aviation Administration test. From private pilot all the way up to airline transport pilot, your instructor ratings, initial, instrument, multi, and all your ground instructor rating. Bye-bye.